Today we have a 2012 model Kia Picanto. It's got roughly 54,000 miles on the clock and it's the 1.2 petrol engine. As part of the service on this Kia today, another one of the jobs I'll be doing is a spark plug change. You can see that they're not that easy to get at. Tucked underneath this plastic box here, I can see cylinder number 1, 2, 3 and 4. So it looks like we're going to have to remove this resonator, I'd call it. Looks like part of the airbox. I'm not sure how many fixings it's got, but there's definitely a 10mm bolt here and another one down the side here. Hopefully there's not one tucked out of sight down the back. We'll find out in a minute. Ah, well, that wasn't difficult. There we go. So next we'll remove these connections and take out the coils. These are 4 ignition coils here, 1 for each cylinder. Right, I'm going to demonstrate on cylinder number 2 because it's a little bit difficult to see what I'm doing down the back of there. So you've got that little tab there, which you've got to slide up, little grey tab. And then, let's point with that, right there is a little, like a button that you push in to release the plug. I always push the plug on when I press that down. It kind of helps it release a bit easier. It's not under tension then. And off comes the plug. So you've got one 10mm bolt there. Give that a wriggle and to pull it up. It should come straight out. It shouldn't matter, you know, if you took all of these out at once, it shouldn't matter which one they go back into, but as a rule I try and put things back exactly where they've come from. So I'll just do one cylinder at a time and just show you how we do cylinder number 2. As you can see, the spark plug is down quite a way in that well. I'll just make sure this extension bar's long enough. It is. So it's a standard 5/8 socket that I'll be using, spark plug socket, on an extension bar. Quite a long thread, that one, but that's the old plug out. So when you get the spark plug out of the box, they generally all come pre-gapped. You can look up a gap, and if you've got a set of feeler blades, you can double check them, but normally they're absolutely fine unless they've been dropped and squashed up, and you can open them back up. I normally use a pair of snips or a pair of pliers just to gently pull it up. If the gap's too big, you can tap it on something solid like a vise just to close it back up again. Always compare them with the new one to make sure it is the right length and it is the same plug. I think this one's got the same number on it anyway. So that's all good. And as you can see, they've got a crushable washer which makes a good seal the first time you nip them up. I always like to put just a little dab of grease on the thread as well. Don't have to go mad with it, just to make it a bit smoother, putting them back in and hopefully prevent them from seizing. That's it, nice and tight. Next we'll put the coil back in. Right, so the coil will just slot back down and plug on top of the spark plug. That's it, you should feel it kind of locate. So these spark plugs, they were around about £9 each. Again, price does vary depending on which brand you go for. That's a pretty average brand, the NGK, normal kind of money. That's clicked back on, just push that back in. And that's cylinder number 2 done. I'll go ahead and do the other 3 cylinders, exactly the same procedure. So I've done all 4 spark plugs. They all look the same colour. That's a good colour for them to be actually, not too black, not white, just right. Now all that's left is to get this box back on. It is just an empty box. Right, start it up, hopefully it will run smoothly. Oh yeah, that sounds good. I'll just give it a little rev. All sounds good, it's not misfiring. As with all my jobs, all that's left to do now is to give it a road test and make sure it performs okay, which I'm sure it will.